We're back once again, ladies and gentlemen, only on It's Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Now, join me here on the line or in person. This man will be fighting once again. It'll be this time on this Friday's. It's Locked and Loaded, presented by Thompson Boxing. He'll be taking on Prime Ton James in a middleweight fight. We're looking forward to seeing two undefeated kids putting their I should say young men putting their records in action here, or undefeated records in action. I give you introducing to the show. I give you it is the hard charging, undefeated 12-0 middleweight. I give you it's Richard Brewart Jr. Richard, so it's Joe Sean James this Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Why him? Once again, you're taking on another undefeated kid. So how did this fight come about in the first place?
I mean, it was just offered to me. I don't say no to fights. I don't turn down fights. Whoever they give me, I take, and we go with it.
Let's start off here because we spoke with Joe Sean, and he's feeling he has the advantage. He's 6'1", you're 5'10". So when you take on a guy like that who you see the tapes, he wants to stay from the outside, he wants to box, he wants to make it a long distance fight. How do you get inside? Like, how do you get into that sweet spot where you can throw your own jab, you can get inside, but you're not, too inside where he can just tie up, and next thing you know, it's a repeat of Porter versus Kell Brook. You get tied up, you
Yeah.
get let go, and he keeps on just jabbing you to death.
Uh, no, I mean, my head movement to my footwork, everything is what's gonna play a big part in this fight. I watched a few videos of his, and from every single fight from his last, I don't know, 3 fights, he fights the same exact way. He just comes forward. I've never seen him box or anything, so I don't know. Maybe he might come out and try to box me, but boxing is my game. Like, if you're gonna try to stay on the outside with me, I know how to take away people's reach. I know how to slow the momentum down. I know how to do all that. So he could try to box with me, but it ain't gonna do him any good. He can come forward. He's only gonna run into a lot of things that he doesn't realize that I have. So I mean, either way, it's gonna be a show for me.
This will be your second time out at 8 rounds. What's tougher, the physical part of going 8, or is it more the mental where, after you go through 4, that's fine, you go through 6, okay, then 8, like, what's
It's
the
more
biggest challenge? What was the biggest challenge, the mental or the physical part?
uh honestly, my last fight I didn't get tired, so I would say more of the mental. It was I remember in the fifth round, I was like, dang, I still got another 3 rounds after this fifth round. Like I got a lot to go. Like I got a lot of work to put in on a lot of things I could do. So it's more of a mental, but it's a lot better. For my style, I like longer rounds. I break guys down. I slow them down, body work, so the 8 rounds is definitely a lot better for me and my style.
Taking back to your last fight, it's Ramona Ayala, and you look at
Yep.
the record, people go, "Well, it's okay, 25-7," but once again, he's 25-7. He's been around the block.
Yep.
He had been in there against guys like Chris Van Heerden, Brian Perella, Omar Figueroa Jr. These are all guys who are either former world champions, former, or current title contenders or ranked top 10. What did you learn in that fight about yourself? Like, when you after the win, what did you learn that you went, okay, this is what I improved on, this is what I did right, and this is what I know I can do going forward.
I learned a lot from that fight. It just showed me like where my skill level is for fighting a guy that's a veteran, experience, what I could do mentally, where I was at. It showed a lot of things that I could do. The most thing I took out of that fight was I could have been a little bit more busier. I mean, I was throwing a lot still. Man, that guy he was just tough. He came to fight, of course, a guy that's 25-6 at the time. He's not coming to lose, They're not coming for a paycheck. He's coming to win. He's trying to make his name. He was trying to get back up, and that's what he tried to do. But I was more superior that night. My boxing ability was a lot higher. My skill set was just higher, so I took over the fight and I made an easy night out of it, and I learned a lot from it though. Still,
You've been pretty busy ever since COVID. This will be your third fight this year. You had 2 fights last year. how nice was it? But even during the pandemic, it was for you. Like, okay, each year you at least had two fights, and
Yeah,
unlike other kids or young guys, there it wasn't. Oh crap! I lost a full year due to the pandemic, or I lost a full year and
yeah.
a half due to the pandemic.
You know what? It was great, honestly. That's the good thing about being signed. I had the option to be able to fight. Some guys didn't get that option. So I appreciate Thompson big time for that. They took care of me. They made sure I was fighting. They made sure they kept me busy. They put me in with the right opponents. They built me the right way. And all I could do is appreciate them and keep working forward with them because I love working with them. They've done me right. They do great by me. So I love working with them, and they made it all possible during COVID, and they made it possible now.
How weird was it for you those first like those from December 2020 to I'll say to April 15th of this past year? You had three fights in between, and I'm guessing there was a lot of no crowds or limited crowds. You can hear your corner, and you're going, "Oh crap! I can really hear everybody here. I can hear somebody fart from the up, from a camera guy here. Like how weird was it? And also, how nice was it when you're having those three fights, back to back to back against Hernandez, Westin, Stubbs, only one loss between all three of them, and
Yeah.
you can hear your corner shout the instructions, go, we need to do this, we need to do that. I mean, you can literally hear Henry explaining everything as if he's
Yeah.
right there next to you.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It reminded me of sparring at first because it felt like you're in the gym, there's no crowd, there's nobody there. So it was like, but I mean, once you get hit with those little gloves, headgear, it wakes you up real quick, like, all right, it's the real thing. But it was definitely different, and I'm just glad that the crowd's back, and I'm having my first main event with the crowd, and I'm more excited because I'm at home.
So did you? So you didn't? You rather have a crowd rather than being able to hear your corner, like literally go, watch out for the left hook. He's about to, throw it, or watch out for the uppercuts. Like, do you enjoy having more of that just adrenaline where everything is pumping and nobody has that time to go, okay, I got to think, I got to look out for this. And
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, it's crazy. You, as a fighter, I don't know if I'm the only one. I know a few other people that say the same thing, but you're in such a zone, you only hear who works with you. I never hear the crowd when I fight. I've never really paid attention to it. I only hear my corner, and then my teammates that'll be at the fights, I'll hear them yelling too, like instructions. But those are the guys that I'll hear because I'm used to hearing them in the gym. So like you're so zoned in that you don't even really pay attention to the crowd or hear it at all.
all right, as some fighters said different, and I know that some of them say the benefit of a crowd of no having no crowd was hearing them clearly and not having
Yeah,
all of a sudden just a crowd just drown something out. Because so, as maybe not yet, but you'll have those moments where it's all of a sudden, there's 30, 40,000 people. They start drowning it out. It's like, okay,
yeah,
I can barely hear myself think, let alone, my corner screaming from the crowd. But all right, take me back though to the Weston fight, because that I'm guessing to date was the closest fight you've had, split
yeah.
decision win. How big
No,
was that for you, having that fight where nothing went right in the first couple rounds, and you're going, okay, I gotta just keep on plugging, keep on trucking, and yeah, I'm down the first round, and okay, I'm now down 2 rounds.
yeah. No, that was definitely a close fight. He caught me on off balance shot in the first round. I was came out too aggressive, and I was off balance when he caught me. I wasn't hurt. I got back up. Um, I thought I did enough to win all the rounds after that because he really didn't throw much. He was playing the hide and seek game, but he was hiding a lot more than trying to do anything. So he would just moving, moving, moving. Yeah, he was catching me here and there with some counter shots, but I was the one initiating the action. I was the one pushing. I was the one trying to make something happen. So the judges saw obviously that, and I got the win. And I thought I got the win too. I knew it was close. I knew it could have won either way. I never said that I thought I clearly won or anything like that. Like, no, that was definitely a tough fight, but I definitely thought I pulled it off, and I did more of the work towards the end because I put the effort into it. Neither one of us were really landing anything significant to like hurt anybody or do anything like that, but I was the one initiating the action, so I thought that's what gave me the win at the end of the day.
You mentioned earlier that you want to be more aggressive, in certain fights, and you said you throw a lot of output. How do you do that though without getting reckless? Because I'm guessing the Weston fight, as you said, it's you got caught with something, you come out there, you're trying to just, blitz the guy with everything. How do you find that happy medium when the more tape there is, the more guys are going, okay, we can catch him with something.
Yeah.
His offense is his defense. We will eventually he's going to just run into an uppercut or something because he wants to, throw those big shots. For you, how do you find that perfect place where you're aggressive, but you're not just
No,
reckless?
at the end of the day, the way I fight smart. Everything is calculated. I don't just go out there and throw punches just to throw punches like some people, you know? I set everything up. I do everything off of what I'm seeing, what they're giving me. So it's like now I want to add, say he throws a shot and I counter. Instead of one or two shots, I want to add like a third or fourth to it. That'll be the shot that they don't expect, you know? So everything will still be the same what I'm doing, but I want to add one or two to what I do now. So a little bit more busier, but not reckless busy, more just being smart about it and coming out and still using my skills, still using my footwork, my head movement, making a miss, making a pay, doing everything, but adding a couple more to that instead of just coming out there reckless and thinking, oh, I'm gonna be aggressive, so I'm just gonna throw whatever. Like, no, I'm still gonna fight the same way, but I'm gonna be smart about it and I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive with it.
Fight, as I said, coming up this Friday. It's you, Joe Sean James. It's bragging rights, and I know there's no hatred. I'm not saying this is just two rivals who hate each other. They'll be shoving and pushing and brawling, but there is, you are a kid, from California. He is a kid from California who it's Northern Cali versus Southern Cali. It's, as we said, the pride and joy of Rancho Cucamonga, now Upland, California, versus Joe Sean James, who he's right up there, Sacramento, California. So, how much does that add to the fight where it's like, okay, I don't want to lose to the guy, especially from North Cali. God damn it. Boxing is Southern Cali, not Northern Cali. How big is that for you? Like, you want to prove a point, not because you
Yeah,
don't like the guy, but it's bragging rights. You get to go any place, say,
yeah.
yes,
I look
my place is
at
Team Cali.
I see it and it's just I mean, at the end of the day, he's just another guy and he's just another O that I'm gonna take. I don't care about that northern southern thing. Yeah, I know it's a thing, but at the end of the day, when we get in there and we get in that ring, that's out the window and it's who's best that night and who shows up and does their thing. So that doesn't really get in my head. I'm not one of the guys. I've had guys that come to me at weigh-ins, talk about a smack, get in my face, talk smack on social media. Nothing gets in my head. Like I'm not one of those guys that they think they're just gonna take me and get into me mentally and try to get me to fight a whole nother fight. Like, no, that's not me. I'll show up fight night and he'll be surprised. Like, damn, I didn't get in his head. Like I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So the northern southern thing, it is what it is. Like it's cool. Like I know people use that. Oh, we got a northern guy fighting a southern guy. Yeah, I understand that, but at the end of the day, I get in the ring. I don't think about none of that. I show out, I perform, and it's just another O that I'm gonna take. This will be my fourth undefeated fighter. So I mean, my records. I mean, I haven't fought the best dudes out there, but I haven't been padded. So it's just my experience is gonna show come Friday night, and that's just it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're proud to have on the show. It's going to be once again on Thompson Boxing, September 23rd, locked and loaded on the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario, California. It's going to be Joe Sean James versus this man here. I give you it's Richard Brewart Jr. Richard, before I let you go, so where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website? Where can fans contact you at?
I'm more of on Instagram, and I have Facebook also. My Instagram is Richard Brewer Jr. All together. There's no spaces, no nothing like that. And the same thing for my Facebook. Obviously, you look up Richard Brewer Jr. Also, you'll find me on both. But Instagram is my main. So you just type in my name all together, no spaces, and I'll pop up. I'll be one of the first guys to pop up.
Richard Brewart Jr., ladies and gentlemen, once again, always on a pleasure having on the show. We come back. A lot more here going on. Only on it is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol. Only on the Last Call YouTube channel.